Today I'm going to talk about sharing our art, sharing our creativity, and how this can make a big impact not only for your creativity, but for those who follow you or find you on social media, YouTube, Instagram, any of these places, and how this encourages others to create and play with artwork, play with their creativity, and how fun this is to do this together. I'm Terry Runyan, visual artist and creative encourager, and today I'm going to be creating some cactus or succulents for the Daily Creating group, which I will link to below. And in the process of doing this, I thought I would share with all of you how I go about doing a piece of artwork, doing some succulents. I'm going to create today without a drawing. I know it's going to be succulents and or cactus, and that's pretty much all I'm going with. And I usually start my work by rifling through Pinterest or looking around at nature, or always have the kitties to keep me company. And by the way, I just grabbed this one because I know everybody loves to see Tucker. He's a lazmo today. I think I'll be putting him down now so he can go back to sleep. Say goodbye, Tucker. Cat hair. So back to what I was talking about. I just think it's an awesome thing to share our work with others. I used to be afraid to do this. I was afraid that I would be judged. I was afraid that it would mean something about me. I was afraid that someone didn't like my work or said something negative, it would destroy me. And what's happened over the years has been completely the opposite. The more I share what I'm doing, the more I share in video or on Instagram or anywhere else, the more connected I feel to other artists and other creative people, which is basically everyone. And the more I share, the more inspired I feel to keep sharing, plus to keep creating. And this has made a huge difference in my own art and production level. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with this cactus and succulents painting or cut paper. I'm not sure which I'm going to do yet, or maybe it's a combo. First, I'm going to look through Pinterest a bit just to get a general idea of the shapes of succulents. And the thing I'm paying attention to is that feeling of inspiration, that feeling of spark, that it's like a movement forward, like an excitement of sorts. Even if I don't notice that inspiration, I know I'm here to share my creativity, and I know that it'll show up as I go. And even if it doesn't show up so that I'm aware of it, which sometimes happens, I know that it's okay if it becomes a mess. It's okay if it isn't great. It's also okay if it surprises me. It's okay if I have happy accidents and end up with something I could have never imagined. That's what I love the most about doing art, is when things show up that I hadn't planned on. So I'm going to get started now. I'm going to look through Pinterest and we'll go from there. So I have this on a succulent plant-based part of Pinterest, and I was really loving this kind of large container with smaller plants idea. Love this bold color here and the fun bases. So I've also got in the back of my mind that I like to do a sign of life in my artwork, whether it's a bird or a cat or some sort of something that shows more than a plant, and that's just kind of a preference for me. So I think I'm gonna just have this up in front of me as inspiration, not looking at any one piece too much. I look through this and I sort of just get a feel for it, and then I start. It's really important not to follow any one piece too closely. So I've given myself enough to look at here. So I'm going to get started with the painting. Or maybe I'm going to cut some paper. Who knows? So I've got some shapes cut out now for my containers, and they're kind of wonky, and I love that. I was looking at a bunch of wonky shapes here on Pinterest, and now I'm going to go in there and add some foliage of the cactus and or succulent variety. Okay, so I've got the first layer of watercolor down, and I was noticing as I was going along here that once I really started working on this, I didn't really look at any of the research again. It's still there, just in case I get what seems to be stuck, and that sometimes will just kind of push me over the edge just to see what's in front of me. Other times I just keep going without worrying about not having any sense of where it's going. There's so many options with this. I'm also keeping in mind that I'm going to come back in with other things to bring details into this, so I'm not worried about if a shape's not quite reading. And I also love the fact that I'm going to be sharing this all with you and maybe inspiring you to pick up a paintbrush or a pair of scissors or whatever your medium of choice is for your creativity. So keep that in mind when you're working. When you share what you're doing, that helps other people get inspired to create as well. It's kind of a permission slip. So let's get back to this. Adding the trusty glasses. got that done, and I love the kitties that got added in there and the plants. So it was really fun sharing this with you guys, knowing that someone out there might be inspired by it. So remember to keep that in mind when you're trying to figure out whether to share your work or not. Know that it inspires and encourages others to create and share their work as well. So it's all a big, happy, joyous creating party. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. You can also join the daily creating group in the comments below. And I hope you have a fabulous creative day, and I'll see you soon.